What's up, Buck fans? As you heard me, I'm not saying good evening. I'm not saying good morning because we know it's not. This is not a rise and shine moment. This is an announcement to say how we all feel. I hope you guys are better. I know it was a shitty day. It's been a real shitty day, Buck fans. But hopefully you have. This is the point where we can vent and you can talk your real football shit. We don't have to be politically correct. We're gonna call people out. Today is the day. As you can see, the background.
This is what the show was built for. The show was built to say your piece, and sometimes that piece may not be nice. Sometimes that piece is good. Sometimes that piece is you just getting some shit off your chest if you want to be angry about something. That's what this is for. No one's in the right. No one's in the wrong. We'll discuss different thought processes. That's what we've always been about. That's what this show is built for. It is built for the reaction, the next day reaction, really. Mm-hmm. It's been a while since we've done one with a next day reaction, so it's it needs to happen.
Yep, we're not here to kiss ass. So again, guys, welcome to another episode of Bucs Report, the Aftermath, 102.9, the Game, Broad Street South Radio. It's AJ Turnup, and this is Coach Slick, aka the British guys fly, always fly. So we're here, as you can see, we're here to discuss the disaster at Ray J. That's what I'm going to call it, the disaster at Ray J. It was so many things that went wrong, and there's a lot of blame to go around. We're going to get through that. We're going to go to the logical stuff, but then we're going to give you the real shit. But as of right now, let's let Coach Slick take this one, because this is a coach, guys, who just got his team almost to the promised land, and he has a lot of expertise that I would like for him to break down. So I'm going to leave the floor, and I'm going to have an open mind and open heart. So lead the way, Coach.
Okay, so we start off with let's go with the real shit, right? Should Mike Evans gone back in the game? Now, you have to understand that there's a Warriors mentality in your players. There's a thing that you preach for all the way through preseason. Personally, I'd have put him in. This is just my opinion. If you told me he can go, Mike Evans isn't daft. He knows the consequences of overdoing it. He's a 10-year vet. You can't wrap him up in cotton wool. And the problem is, what a lot of people haven't realized is this team's starting to look Baker-esque. When the chips are down, let's keep fighting. That's what you're starting to see. And I think that goes in how Coach Bowles coaches. They want to be a tough football team, and it came at a cost. Being tough came at a cost yesterday. And it's a cost that I understand why you decided to go for it and go down that avenue of trying to chase it. But in my opinion, I think it's the same in AJ Turnup's opinion, it was a lost cause. It was less than a minute and a half on the clock, I think. I think with maybe a timeout. I can't remember exactly. You need to go down the field, score, which, let's face it, hasn't been great. Yes, we got some garbage time yards, but now they're going to tighten the screw because they've actually got a chance to lose the game. This is the difference. What a lot of people don't realize is the two scores, or whatever the scores that we added, they were fun, but they were fluff pieces. The moment we really threatened them, they'll start playing again. And you saw that the moment we hit the field. They started defending like they have to. This was no prevent defense because they couldn't afford for stupid shit to happen. When stupid shit happens, we give up another touchdown. The chances of recovering another onside kick in a game is astronomically. If you want to play analytics, let's play the analytics. They kick one. You now have to announce when you're doing it, which it makes it even easier for the hands team. You have to do that twice because we did it once. Did it a second time, it didn't come off. We'd have to do it again, get the ball and get within field goal range to knock over a field goal, to then go into overtime with Derrick Henry, who, let's face it, had been left chomping at the bit, hungry as fuck to go into that game because they let him loose. And that's all they needed to do. I knew it was coming. I was just hoping we would build up some buffer that we could just survive I knew what was coming. I could see it. I was like, there's a reason they're not fucking playing this motherfucker. There's fucking reason that one of the best running backs in football is stood by the sideline looking a bit confused. And it's because You're going to wear this Tampa Bay defense out, and that they did, and then they're going to let him off the chain. What happened? Fucking disaster. That's all I need to say. I don't think we should have gone for it. I think we should have ran multiple plays on the ground and just saw what we could get out of it. We were close to having another gentleman popped. Our tight end, Kate Otten, was taking so much fucking punishment. I've not seen the injury list yet, but I would not be surprised if he's do not participate for the next 2. And that's the difference. You've got a game in fucking 4 days or 5 days or what have you. Monday Night Football, Sunday night. You're playing Sunday fucking night. You get 1 day. You've got a 1 day less than everyone else has got. You've got 1 day less than the Atlanta Falcons to get ready for this game. And you chose to put your team at risk, even when Godwin went down. I was expecting him to just shut shop and go, that's it. Big injury. Let's kneel this shit out. Let's get the fuck out of here. Enough is enough.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
There's a great one here from Christopher Cole. Doesn't matter who plays wide receiver if our defense isn't fixed. Agreed. Defense was poor. It started off well. And this is the interesting thing about it. I do feel a little bit for Bowles in this one because when he doesn't blitz, he's blamed for it. And when he does blitz and it goes to shit, he's also blamed for it. He needs to be a bit more creative with his blitzing and where he's blitzing from. But what people need to understand is when you're blitzing, someone's fucking open. It's guaranteed. There's only a certain amount of width for field and there's only a certain amount of length for field that people can cover. There will be people out. And I think he should have dialed it back to see what being a little bit less aggressive looked like. And I don't think we did enough of that. I would like to have seen him on first, second downs. I suppose they ran it on first down. But the makeup of this Todd Bowles defense is stop the run, which means first down is now very much longer. So second down becomes much longer. When they get to third down, cushion coverage. Now, we know, AJ knows, we ban the cushion in this house. We ban the cushion in his house. We don't believe in it. We still see it. We know it's a part of the game, but we just don't. Me and AJ, we just don't like it. We're not a fan of it. We feel it doesn't serve a purpose unless you're protecting behind the sticks. You know, it's third and a bus ride, so you've got the guys camped on a 10 and it's 15 yards to go. Then yeah, I get it. I'm for it. Even if there's 10 to go. The issue is you throw it into space and then all you're doing is relying on your players to rally down and make those tackles. If they miss one, it is a first down. I'd love to see the analytics of that. Like Buccaneers, third down, when they play cushion coverage, what is the conversion rate when it's third and long? I'd love to I'd love to actually see it. Because obviously we get annoyed, so it sticks in the head a bit more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Defense was ass. But I think we were uber aggressive and we didn't dial it back enough. We could have been a little bit more conservative just to see how that looked like. Like, I believe in prodding and probing and what have you. You need to have a look at what that looks like because on obvious passing downs where they are hitting the middle, Mike Andrews had himself a fucking day. And everyone was saying, well, we could blitz this guy and we should blitz that guy. Blitzing ain't going to make a difference. The issue you got is Tyke Smith is your kind of guy that you do want to blitz because he's a little bit further outside. But then the flats that he would normally have would then become open if you're playing a zone-based coverage. This is what a lot of people do. I'd love to, one day, I think, if I can get my laptop going, we'll do a chalkboard session of understanding how blitzes work, and that'll be quite fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, one thing, 1 second. I have to ask this question, and this is for you, Todd Bowles. I want to ask you a serious question. But we have a guest coming up, but I got to get this out first. But Bowles, I have a question I want to ask you. And these are a few questions that I think you need to answer because you owe this to the Buccaneers organization. Do you want to be here? Do you know how to win and adjust? Do you believe in your players or do you believe in the opponents better? Do you fear them? If you cannot answer any of those questions I just asked you, Bowles, I need you to get the fuck out of here. Carry your ass. Because the abysmal shit that I saw, I'm lost for words. Defensively, being aggressive was good early. It's called adjustment. When
they adjusted.
Blitz, you should have adjusted. You should have done this, because this is what killed the corners when they had to worry about Lamar. Bowles, it was your duty to tell those corners, I don't give a fuck what Lamar is doing. Do your job. I want you to make sure that Flowers or Bateman don't even think about getting past the line of scrimmage with you. If Lamar goes off, we have Levante David in our linebacking core and the other guys to help out. That's not your concern. Also, Bowles. The game is fucking over. Hey, I don't think, Bowles, you do realize that the Ravens are an AFC conference team. This game, as bad as we wanted to win, we could afford to lose this game. You have a team coming up next week, the Atlanta Falcons.
Can't lose to that.
Mind you, we had the advantages at receivers, but now we don't. Tyke Smith is going to be out. And as Slick said, we don't even know if Otten is going to be fit because he was getting fucked up out there. So Bowles, at this point, when you had that stupid ass comment, well, the game was not over. The game was fucking over, my guy. The game was over.
The game was over.
A real question,
and I get his logic in it, but I don't think I think there's too much that has to go right for it to work.
Exactly.
Had they got an interception or a short field from that punt return, I get it, because you could score quick.
Yeah,
you could score quick, but we were driving from our own side of the field.
Yep.
That's going to take over a minute with no time, with either one timeout or no timeouts. It's going to take over a minute. We had like a minute and 30 seconds. Then you got to get the onside kick, which you are now announcing. You've got to get that. And then you've got to get enough of it to be able to drive deep enough that you can make it a manageable kick, and then be able to clock the ball, spike the ball, and clock it so you can kick the points. The chances of that happening against a Ravens
are astronomical. And another thing, Bowles, my guy, where the fuck was this sense of urgency 2 quarters ago? Bowles, this is what pisses the Bucs organization off and fans. Slick, we're not wrong. My guy, you and I are right. It's not about him getting blamed. You are the fucking coach. You are supposed to be a defensive-minded genius. You mean to tell me, Bowles, you don't know when to blitz, when not to lay off, when not to fill teams out, when not to do certain shit? How do you? This is where, and Slick said this in the past, your tenure in the Bucs is in jeopardy when you cannot deliver what you do best. Bowles, you are a defensive-minded guy, right? So why is it at this point the defense is why this Bucs team is losing? What you should have thought about was, gee, if I play zone too much, then they're gonna shred my secondary, because one, Britt can't cover shit. You know, we just learned that when Kirk Cousins threw for 509 yards just 2 weeks ago. So you don't adjust from that. You don't disguise anything. Oh, yeah, and also, again, game over. You put Chris Godwin out there. Not only did you put Chris Godwin in jeopardy, you put Baker in jeopardy. You put everybody else, your starting line, in jeopardy. You did all of this for no fucking reason, Bowles, because you know why? I'm convinced you don't have situational awareness. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. And you again, and it's not just Bowles I'm blaming, but you are the commander-in-chief, so it falls on you, Bowles.
I agree with that.
You fucking failed us. You failed, and I'm pissed because of what happened to Godwin. That is our champion. The first thing you should have done is have common fucking sense. I know what people will say on the logistical side, and I'll tell them shut the fuck up, because if you played football, you know damn well it's too many things, like Slick said, that has to go right. That's not this way. And when you put yourself
not against the defense that's playing as well as they did. You have to understand, we scored those touchdowns, at the urgent touchdowns, because they were playing a softer level of coverage. They were playing prevent. So we will get ours. Don't get me wrong; it was fun to watch. I was glad we put a bit of icing on the cake. If this game would have finished 31-41, and Chris Godwin was fine, I'd have looked back at it and go, you know what? I'm glad the Buccaneers battled through. But the fact is, we lost it to the fact that Chris Godwin was injured. I'd have happily lost fucking 41-10 if it meant Chris Godwin was still going. Amen. I'd have taken the fucking. I'd have taken it. Now I understand we had to get to a point where we had to decide. I get it, but it was just too much. You're asking too much. You're down your You're down your star wide receiver. It's deep into the game. The chances of you pulling all these things off are incredibly low.
And
they're incredibly low.
You put yourself in this position anyway, and this is another thing that Slick says. When you do that, you're licking at the chops of the opponents to take their shots because so much has to go right. More so, it's going to go wrong for you. And that's where Bowles made the mistake. That's where Bowles and Cohen made the mistake because offensively, oh, no, we're not letting Baker off the hook. No, you fucked that up with those 2 interceptions. However,
yeah, I mean, there's lots of fucking slips and slides to this game.
Yeah, but this is where,
I agree with you. First things first, Mike Evans getting injured. That took a shit ton of air out of the balloon, and then the interception capped it off. I think that just gut punched us.
But this is where I say, okay, this is not just on Baker. This is Cohen. Cohen, what the fuck were you doing? I need you to get creative. When Evans went out, this was a time. See, Slick, this is why, as a coordinator for me, when I used to do this, I test everybody out. I need to know all my receiver strengths. I need to know their weaknesses. And mind you, when Humphreys went out of the fucking game, this is where the Bucs should have been attack. Wait a minute.
They even said it in the broadcast, dude. They said it in the broadcast, and you'd have thought that it would have got better.
You spread the ball.
The only thing we can glean from this, dude, is we got a rushing game. But fucking.
Yeah. And my thing is, I
think that's the only thing right now. If you were looking at going, okay, we're not fucking completely done yet. And yeah. I'm still. If Mike Evans comes back, we're hearing that it's going to be week 12. It's going to be a 4-week layoff. Fair enough. I'm happy that it's not career ended. Sorry, that it's not season ended because that sticks a light. We just got to survive 4 more weeks, right? And one of those weeks is a bye week, so we got to survive 3 more weeks of games. If we can just win 1 or 2 of them, we go up against an injury-ravaged 49ers team. Kansas City,
we're losing that.
Yeah, I think we'll probably lose that one. Atlanta, I'm hoping the adrenaline and wanting to prove themselves and playing at home kicks in, and the defense just goes, not to fucking day. We're not going to get torched by you. That's what I'm hoping. So if we can walk away from this block of 4 games, including the bye week of 5 weeks, and we're 2-2, we had that, I'll take it. I would take that. And I'd said that at the beginning of the season. We were 4-2. If we went 2-2 in the next round of games, because there are some difficult games coming up, I'll take it. We haven't fucking touched Carolina yet.
We haven't touched the Giants yet, the Raiders. Yes. Now, I'm glad you brung these things up because the running game, that's where I was going. You know me, Slick. I'm a pass-happy motherfucker. But when I saw that the run was getting there, I'm like, well, how about you use that to your advantage? And here's another thing that Cohen does, and I see it a lot. When he gets nervous or he wants to play it safe, he makes Baker play in the fucking pocket, which is the worst thing you can do. He needs to be on the move because he makes things happen. When he was standing in the pocket, that's when I knew we were cooked, because at that point, you're asking too much. Baker in his core is not a pocket quarterback. He's a slim.
To reiterate, I want to jump in on this. I still think he's a way better offensive coordinator than Dave Canales.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
I think that's the thing we're seeing is we're going to have the growing pains with him. I'm accepting of it. Had we had a full blitz beasting squad that we're supposed to have, I would not be remotely concerned, because what the creativity that I've seen from him already is leaps and bounds.
It's
from
leaps.
our last 2 OCs.
Yes.
So
what I like about him,
you want more. You want more.
I need more uppercuts instead of hooks. For him, yeah, you're right. He will get you those nice swing hits, like those little, but we need those uppercut jugular things. Here's the thing. You got to do shit that nobody can see. So when Evans went out, that means, okay, Godwin and Palmer, I need you in a bunch. Palmer, I need you to do a deep out. And Godwin, I want you to take the little shallow crossing because they're going to W. Palmer, with your speed, you are going to be able to get that kind of separation. This is what I mean for the offensive coordinator for Cohen. Unfortunately, Slick, we're at a time now where this offense has to be great. And we got a guest on here that talked about that. And I'm going to bring him on because he said this a long time ago, and he is right on the money. So no further ado, guys, from the Frozen Podcast, let's bring on Louie out here. Louie, how you doing, my brother?
I'm extremely tired. I've had a long week, stressful couple of weeks, actually, including watching the Buccaneers last night. Yeah. What to say? What to say? I agreed with a lot of stuff that you guys are saying, but the biggest problem for me on this Buccaneers team is the defense is terrible. And I said in the beginning of the year, the offense is going to have to carry this defense until they
You
start.
did.
getting
I remember.
together.
I remember you saying, we both turned around you and said, nah, it's going to be the defense. And you said
Yeah.
it was going to be the offense. And you're absolutely right.
You were right.
And watching that game yesterday, it was a tough one for me because there's so much talent with the Buccaneers there. Also, can I have the floor for a couple of seconds to rant
By
here
all means.
a little bit?
By all means.
All right. So I didn't even finish watching that game because when it was I think 31-10 or whatever it was, I shut it off. I did because I am not going to continue to let myself see that terrible performance by the Bucs. And this is where they went wrong. They went wrong before the game even started. Mike Evans should have never been in there. That hamstring injury, and that's not going to sound like a popular thing because every Buccaneers fan is like, Mike needs to get 1,000 yards. Fuck that 1,000 yards. If he gets it, great. This team needs to focus on winning games. Evans shouldn't have been out there because it cost us big time. Now he's gone for like 3 weeks?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. 4 weeks. So at that point, for me, Evans should have never been in the game to start. I'm sorry. The hamstring, he's getting older, and you don't really, your body, we all know, man. I'm 36, man, and sometimes I don't recover as fast.
I think all three of us are on the wrong side of 30 right now.
Yeah, man. Like, you don't recover as fast. And these guys are world professional athletes, and especially a hamstring, man, especially for a guy like Mike. He should have never been out there.
He's always had problems with his hamstrings.
Yeah.
Hamstrings is his biggest issue throughout his career.
Absolutely. And he shouldn't have started. And I get it was a big time game against the Baltimore Ravens, but you have 3 proven guys behind Godwin. You got to give these guys the chance to go. Sterling Shepard has proved himself. Trey Palmer has proven himself. Jalen McMillan has been looking a little iffy. But these guys have proved themselves.
Like that.
Yeah,
exactly. I just want him to do this rather just keep it like it's really highs and lows with him, and he just seems to get a little bit lost at times when he's running his routes. He just looks a little bit like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But, it is what it is.
Yeah, and, you got to give these guys, you got to let them go. You have a 3-headed monster at running back. And what it looked like to me was the Bucs they started off red hot. And then as soon as Baker threw that pick in the red zone, that's when I knew the game was downhill from there. I said, if the Bucs defense does not come up with a stop right here, because now I talked about it in the beginning of the season. Not only did I said them carrying the defense, but I also said the defense and the offense have to learn to complement and feed off one another. All right, Baker went out through a red zone interception. That was huge. And that's what killed the game right there. And then what's his face missing a field goal? That's 10 points that you're out on. Just so happens they lost by 10, but the game wasn't even close.
Yeah,
the defense did not. Yeah, the defense did not step up. Not only that, I agree with what everybody in the Buccaneers community is saying. Why the fuck is Chris Godwin out there with a minute left? The game is over. I don't give a shit what you say. The game is over at that point. And now, I mean, I seen the picture of his ankle. It's just it should have never happened. It should have never happened.
And bold statement makes it more asinine. His
I didn't even listen. Because this game was so ugly.
Louis, you're good because this is where you guys know who Ryan Clark is, right?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his, but I want to tell him, dude, shut the fuck up, because he had the nerve to get mad at a journalist for asking that question. Well, they're trying to make it seem like he's responsible that he got hurt, because he fucking is, Ryan. He's the head coach, asshole.
Yeah.
What
And-
makes
and
He
you
makes it, look,
like?
I'm all for understanding, like fighting the good fight and trying to win the game. I get it. But with a minute and fucking 30-odd seconds on the clock with one timeout, you need to drive down the field, score a touchdown, and then get an onside kick, then put it into field goal range, and then kick the goal just to go into overtime. That's not to win the game. That's just to go into overtime.
And this is a coach talking, guys. This is a coach telling you this, Louis.
It's fucking much. If it was the playoffs, I shut the fuck up and say, go for it. It's the fucking Ravens. It's an AFC team. It did not fucking matter. What matters is this week we got to fucking deal with the fucking Falcons with two of our star wide receivers out because of what happened. Now I don't mind. I'm on the fence with the Mike Evans one. If he thinks he can go, and the athletic trainers genuinely think he can go, because he's had those issues in the past with his hamstring, he knows his body pretty well. I would trust him to go down there. I think it was just an awkward situation. But here's the thing: I can understand the argument for him going back in, because he already struggled when he got that first touchdown. He was walking around a bit gingerly. Maybe that was the time. Like, I get starting him because he said, "I'm ready. I can go. I'm up for it." The athletic trainers are saying, "Yeah, he's ready to rock and roll. He's had this issue in the past. It'll be fine. It's fine. Everyone's happy." He has that issue, and he's walking around gingerly on his leg. That's when you go, dude, we'll call you if we need you, but right now, fucking rest.
Yeah.
Boom. That's it right there. We will call you when we need you. You know what? Real coaches will do that. You know who would have done that, Louis, guys? And I know you know this better than everybody over here. Belichick. Belichick will literally be like, shut the fuck up, sit your ass down. I got this.
He did. Yeah, but his wide receiving score literally was no better than anything else.
No, but a guy like a coach,
sixth string. I get you. I'm just saying his sixth string was probably as good as his second string.
I actually want to bring up to the comment section here. I hear King Cook say, "Rashad ain't no receiver, man. Stop it." I gotta say something to that. So right now, this is my take right here for Rachaad White. So I was way off on way too early bold predictions. Because I said 2,000 all-purpose yards with Rachaad White. I mean, nobody expected Sean Tucker and Bucky to be like this dynamic. But here's the thing: you have two really good running backs, and three: Rachaad White, Bucky Irvin, and
they offer different things.
Huh? What's that?
They offer different things. So I'm just looking at the other ones. Cohen should put Rachaad White in the slot. Okay, I can see where they are.
Here's my theory with this. You got $10.5 million right now in the salary cap to work with. Another take that people are not going to take this like lightly, but I hear a lot of things like, "Oh, we value our third round picks and Jason like this and Jason like that." Look, stop it. Right now, you're down two wide receivers. One of them is not coming back. And believe it or not, he was a huge part of that Buccaneers offense. Chris Godwin was a huge part of that offense.
You could argue right now he was the dude.
Offense, right? Well, I've argued.
You could from a passing point of view, Mike Evans was the dude. This guy was the get it when it was there, right? But sorry, Louis, keep going, bro.
I've argued with Patriot fans because out here in Mass, I'm gonna be helping somebody out. We're gonna be starting like a Patriots podcast because the fucking coverage out here is terrible, absolutely terrible, and I get to fucking talk shit to Patriot fans, which is always awesome. Because out here in the Northeast, everybody is very very high strung here. But I was arguing with Patriot fans. I said, who would be a great fit if the Buccaneers cannot re-sign him? Chris Godwin going to the Patriots with Drake May. That instantly improves your offense. It gives that kid a necessary weapon. And I was told by Patriot fans, "Oh, well, we are basically already have like 2 or 3 Chris Godwins on our team."
But why is the team losing?
Exactly.
Two or three Chris Godwins. You should be winning the league.
Yeah.
Exactly. People just
yeah.
don't know how
Oh,
to.
man,
Yeah.
like,
But
Some people-
going back to his comment, King Cook, with
Yeah.
Godwin out and the $10.5 million,
Yes.
you got as Jason Light. I mean, I know this is a long shot, but the LA Rams, I don't know if you guys seen it.
Oh,
Cooper
we
Kupp
saw
is available.
They're interested.
Yeah,
And
Cooper
Connor's
Kupp's
birthday.
available. You're in a win now mode because I said I don't expect nothing less from the Bucs this year. Is the NFC Championship game. They
Yes.
still have a shot at that, but you have to go out there. You either have to go out, you have to try and get somebody in here because you lost Godwin, and I don't have faith in Palmer and McMillan, and I don't know
Not
when
enough.
Mike's coming back. You either make a call to Tennessee for Nuke Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins. I would love to see him as a Buck, and guaranteed,
Ooh.
love to see him
I
as a
mean,
Buck. Him and Baker,
Titan season sunk.
huh?
Is it actually sunk? Like, can you? I won't say that no one's mathematically out of the playoffs yet, but do they look that fucking bad that they can't win their division? Like, genuinely.
I think the Titans are a bad team. I don't think Will Levis is the guy. I think they have a new coach down there. And you really, it's kind of like what the LA
That's what I'm
Rams.
thinking. It's like the fire sale, right?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
a team's struggling but they have talent, let's go with it. Let's try and get it.
You got to try
Let's
and
try and
offer
get it.
something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can give up a decent round pick for this guy, and instantly he's gonna.
I think you can easily. I think you give a fourth.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's gonna fill that. I mean, yeah, he'd fill that void. I'm not saying he's gonna be a Chris Godwin, but that's when guys like Rashad White, going back to King Cook's comment, how he can't play a wide receiver. That's when this is what I like about Liam Cohen. He does get creative. He gets very creative. We have one of the best running games, well, three-headed monsters in the league right now. Unfortunately, the wins and loss columns doesn't really reflect that. But I'll tell you what, from the past 2 years now, it's looked a lot better under Liam Cohen. So bringing a guy like DeAndre Hopkins instantly helps the offense. And now a guy like Rashad White can line up at the running back position, and maybe, the dude can catch. He made plays yesterday.
Okay, the Titans won one game. Let's go fucking get this guy.
Yeah. And then
let's not fuck around. They've won one game. They ain't fucking winning shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, go out and go get
fourth round pick. Maybe play it, sweep the deal.
Yeah, like go out there and try. Like, give up a third or fourth round pick for this dude. You're not out of it yet. And I did say when they lost to the Falcons that was a huge loss, because now you're on death row right now.
This is the schedule coming up. Next week, the Bucs lose. Their season is done. Why?
Well, I wouldn't say it's done, but
I wouldn't say it's done, but it's going to be difficult to come back from, because you got to then make sure that you
got a hole in the ship.
Yeah, you've got to make sure that you end up with more wins than Atlanta.
You damn near have to win out. That's why you beat, and more from a moral standpoint. You don't like these motherfuckers.
Well, no, right now, if you look at it, if we lose to Atlanta, they would only be one game in front of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so you don't have to win out. You just got to make sure that you win more games than Atlanta. You win more games than Atlanta does, and then you'll be okay.
Honestly,
it becomes especially difficult because Atlanta is actually looking pretty decent.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, well, they had a pretty bad loss against the Seahawks. So,
well,
and that's the race for us.
The Seahawks caught them with their pants down, and I predicted that, Slick, because Louis, I said this. That team was desperate.
I called it too. I said they were going to lose to the Seahawks.
When you play teams that are desperate, they look, the Seahawks are looking at the 49ers and Rams and shit. They're like, we're not out of this yet. How about we make a play? And they did something that the Bucs need to learn from. They put pressure on their receivers.
Yeah, well, speaking of that division, though, sorry to cut you off, but Cooper Kupp is available, like I was just saying. They're willing to eat the contract, some of the contract.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp instantly fills that void, that Chris Godwin void, because who was his offensive coordinator? Liam Cohen. He has chemistry with Baker. Why not?
He plays like Godwin.
Yeah. He plays like Godwin in the slot. And dare I say he's a little bit quicker?
Yeah. Let's face it, at one point he was better than Godwin. Godwin's got the longevity where he's been more, I would say Godwin's been more consistent over a period of time, whereas Cooper Kupp exploded for a second of time.
But I mean, where's Godwin gonna be at next year too?
Yeah,
For
that's
his
another thing.
ACL?
I
Like,
agree, Louis.
I
You're
mean,
on
if the Buccaneers, if he can heal his injury, because it's about 3 months to 6 months, right? If he can get right before free agency and the Buccaneers are happy with where he's at, I personally think the Buccaneers need to offer him something because
yeah, I think so too. But right now, man, like the way it's looking, the Bucks are not out of it yet. But what's gonna hold this team back? I do think Liam Cohen and Baker can absolutely continue to steer this ship. Hey, guys, I predicted 11 and what was it? 11 and
11 and
6 or
6.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
This is what 11 and 6 looks like.
it's like, yep.
So I mean, this is the type of stuff that we're gonna have to go through. I think if the Buccaneers can somewhat manage um, the consistency at the running game, because I think when they were playing Baltimore, like after those 2 back-to-back interceptions, I don't think they were prepared to alternate their game plan. Is kind of what it looked like to me. I think they try to continue to execute the game plan.
Because they had some success with it, and so
Yeah,
they just led into it.
and they
Yeah,
just
I think
didn't
that
know
was
how
the
to
problem.
adjust.
They got greedy off their early
Yeah.
successes.
Yes, and that's why I was pissed because I was saying the same thing, Louis. I was like, you got to switch it up. They already knew to, okay, let's double Godwin or let's do something like that. Spread them out. When Humphreys was out, they should have been going, okay, if we're going to pass, we're going to stretch this field, and we need to be methodical.
Yeah, but
They
the
were taking,
Ravens are
yeah,
still physical, man. That was the thing. Like they were
yeah,
honestly at the end of the day, I think they would see back in the day, like when a defense came in, even during that Tom Brady era,
yes,
when the defense came into play, like
They beat
we
the
would
shit out of
match.
them.
Yeah, we would match that physicality. Like, oh, you're
yes,
gonna
we
hit our
were.
boys like that? Okay, we got your boys.
Yep.
I don't see that with this defense, and everybody was ranting and raving. Oh, they're gonna be faster on defense, this and that. Oh, Yaya Diaby. I'm not impressed. That's another thing. Like, if you're not going to go trade for a wide receiver, you need to go get a pass rusher because the pass rushing on this team, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka still cannot get to the quarterback. How many times did you see? They should have had about 7 sacks in that
Well,
game.
Well, in hindsight, though, Lamar is a magician. He's swift. He's quick.
Yeah, but he had the hands on the jersey.
I'm with you. Shit, Brownsville
Yeah,
should have
That was
that was disappointing because I actually thought he could have had a killer game had he just got some of those. You know,
Yeah, well, Brownsville,
he didn't get all of them. He just needed to get like 3 of them.
yeah, yeah.
But,
He was always
like,
in. He was always in the ballpark. It just kind of went wrong for him.
Yeah.
and again, I don't have confidence in this defense at all. There's nobody up front. Like if I'm coming in to play the Bucs, I mean, it didn't help Jamel Dean. Everybody can say what they want, but you know what? You've seen how it is without him in there. And then Tyke Smith, what is he? I don't know how many weeks he's going to be out.
For the next game.
Yeah, like
Right.
He won't be playing. I can guarantee you with I know roughly what their concussion protocol is, but
yeah,
he probably won't be at this game, but he might be at the next one.
He'll be in the
these are
next
the
one,
type
but
of games that
Concussions are a weird one because it's all about it's all to do with symptoms. So
oh yeah, I've had 5 of them, man. They're not fun. I've had 5. They're not fun.
I got knocked the fuck out and I had no symptoms, which was weird.
Yeah,
And I mean, I blanked out, like I don't remember shit.
same
I
thing.
was playing rugby and I was running downfield for a kickoff, and I connected my temple with someone's knee. I don't
Ooh.
remember any of it happening, and I woke up in the facility.
Yeah,
And I was like, "Oh, I thought I was knocked out the whole time." No. I had conversations with people.
yeah. That's what they said about me. We went to go see. We went to go see. So my girlfriend. I was always into punk rock growing up as a kid. The Misfits, Rancid, Social Distortion. My favorite.
Dude, I fucking
Yeah.
love it with the bits.
So,
with the Glenn Danzig.
Yeah, man. So we went to the House of Blues in Boston, and that's a small like venue. Like I would say
Right.
maybe 3,000 people's tops, if that.
Right.
And she's never been to a punk show. So she's like, we're drinking beers and stuff. And then she's like, what do I do with the can? I grab it and I put it on the ground and I stomped it and I kicked it off to the side. I said, that's what you do with it. And then Social Distortion was supposed to perform around, I want to say,
awesome.
yeah, 9:30. They didn't come on the stage until almost, it was like 10:30 something now. So the crowd's already, antsy.
Yeah,
And
you're
it's
getting
a
antsy.
Sunday. People have work the next day, and then all of a
You've
sudden
got
I
too
told
much
her,
shit to do.
I said, hey, be careful. Hold on to me. The push is coming. She's like, I'm fine. All of a sudden, Social D hit the stage. The push came, and I'm holding on to her. I got kicked in the back of the head by a crowd surfer.
Damn.
Did not remember shit. Did not remember a thing. When I started to kind of like realize what was going on, I was talking to a paramedic inside an ambulance. And they're like, well, you have a concussion. Do you want to go to Boston? I'm like, no, I want to see Social Distortion. They don't come around much. The paramedic's like, well, the show's half. Yeah. I'm like, she's like, the show's half over. I'm like, I don't care. They don't come around. I went in there. I drank a Captain and Diet, and I was fine. I felt it like the next day. I went into work. I was disoriented. They were like, dude, you're going home. It sucks. Those concussions too.
No,
They make
I
you
didn't
feel
have any
funny.
of that. My wife said to me, I was just moody. Like she was like, anything you just snap. But that's part of the symptoms. So what they do is in these things is they'll look for symptoms, and once he's got a symptom, he's got a concussion. Once he becomes free of those symptoms, he starts what's called the concussion process. So they go like, where are you now? Like, I got no symptoms. I'm ready to go. They're like, okay, now you can do just like running around shit. Like, okay, so he's doing running around shit. So that's when when they say limited, that's what they mean. When a guy's concussion, he got limited. He's just running around, no contact drills, and not allowed to do any contact.
Yeah,
he's got to go up. Everyone's different, but in where what I coach, it's a week from being no symptoms, and if you have no symptoms within that like full week, so you're at least off a week, then you can return to regular practice.
Yeah, I mean,
the NFL will probably have a little bit more robust and a bit more intricate one because they have specialists.
Yeah.
This is just me. I'm just a dude.
But those concussions are tricky and they're scary.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as the Buccaneers go, this. I don't want to say the season's gone, but boy, are we taking some cannon fire right now, man. The ship is. It's taking some hits.
Hopefully, can you imagine if we pull this shit off, though? The fucking story.
Oh yeah, I mean, imagine just beating the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So someone already came into this and said, "I'm going to pull this comment up because we didn't get a chance to talk about it." But where is it? Because there's a fair lot of shit. Fucking hell, there's all sorts of crap on here. My lord.
Yeah, King Cook is out here cooking.
But, he is cooking. He definitely cooking.
But King,
I think he's like, here we go. Let's keep it real. We ain't beating the Chiefs or the Niners. I'm not. Chiefs, I can agree with. They got the referees in their back pocket.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're still a good defense, and they're still a good team. I don't care what anyone says. They're still good. They just tend to get the rub of the green when it comes to the referees. However, that Niners team is beating the shit up.
Yeah, and
very, very beatable.
I called it. We got a receipt for them.
King Cook, come on. You're looking at him with that 2022, that 2023 vision. This is 2024. They have no Christian McCaffrey, so they've got a scrub.
Ayuk is gone.
They're in the same situation as us.
Didn't we just sign a contract?
Yeah, and mind you, bitched about it. No, it's okay. He bitched about that, and then look at what happened. That's a whole nother conversation. But yes, Slick, you said it. A lot of people, just like what pisses me off is, it's so funny how people go off the remnants of certain teams past, but they forget this Bucs team just a few years ago was Super Bowl champions. But they want to go off of teams that ain't even they couldn't finish. Eagles, 49ers. Louis, Slick, I'm telling you this right now. 49ers are cooked. You know why? Did you see how Purdy was playing? And I get it. Chiefs defense is stellar, but
you know when Cam Newton said he's a game manager and everyone got really upset? And I still like when he broke down what he meant by game manager, I was like, cool. Cam Newton is one of my new favorite podcasters because he just comes across as fucking real sometimes. It's a bit out there. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
But genuinely, he's pretty spot on with his analogies and shit.
He's like us, fellas. He says shit that the masses don't want to hear, but they need to. That's why, Louis, I was telling, and King Cook.
What happened to a game manager when you take their favorite running back away?
And what happens when Ayuk
They can't game manage no more.
And mind
you, management system, it's like someone turning around and going, right, Purdy, you've come into work today? this dude's not in, this dude's not in, this dude's not in. We need you to make 4,000 or something. And he's like,
what?
But
Yeah.
But
there's a cat meme out there where they go, oh, and that's exactly what Purdy does.
That's exactly the deal. You take away a game manager's favorite toys, the people that he depends on to allow him to excel.
He folds.
You do that with even great quarterbacks, it's difficult. Imagine you do it to a guy who's been labeled a game manager. His best running backs out, his best wide receivers out. It's a trying deal for him.
Mhm.
Baker, I think Baker can still bake.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
he
think so
can.
too, man. Speaking of game manager, I actually agree with you. I still think that Baker Mayfield can. I think
He's
we
got
can get at least one win out of these next 4 weeks. I think they can get at least one win, and I think the Buccaneers are going to regroup, and I think they're going to. If it's me and I'm Todd Bowles, and actually not even Todd, like Liam, because in all reality, Todd Bowles is just running that defense. I mean, obviously, I believe he has some say in the offense, obviously, but I think Liam Cohen is going to get very, very, very creative coming up against the Falcons. And I'll tell you one thing right now: if the Buccaneers lose to the Falcons, the complexity of this division is going to change. And you still have the New Orleans Saints. I don't care that we put up a 50 burger on them. That's fine, because that was already a week ago. That's gone. We got our asses handed last night. So that New Orleans Saints game, I could give two shits about. It's irrelevant right now. Them dudes just re-signed. Well, they added Alvin Kamara to an extension. He just
poor guy.
so-
I mean, he's getting paid. Poor guy.
But here's the thing: the Saints are still a dangerous team in this division. They're still like that dark horse to. There's a strong possibility, man. We might be in third place in this division in 4 weeks from now. There's a strong possibility.
Possibly,
There's a strong possibility. Got to be realistic.
Keep in mind, though, if they continue to lose like I think they are, we don't play them to the last week. Let's say if the Bucs are still in prime position and we have something to fight for, they can be competitive, but I don't know.
You don't want to lose these games like this, because it's going to come down to, hey, you need to win one more game, and that one more game is the Saints, and the Saints are out of it. That's the perfect. They'll take that.
Yeah. I got what you're saying, because we've done it to the Saints a couple of times. So I completely get where you're going with this. Everyone wants to wreck somebody else's party, right? That's all. That's why that season finale, unless you're in it guaranteed, is actually quite spicy, because there's a little extra sauce on it. You know.
Yeah.
And Louis, you said it. I'm putting all my trust and faith into Cohen now. And the offense has got to be the hero. I don't believe in I'm not, it's not that I don't fully believe, but like you, I don't doubt the players. I doubt Bowles' scheme. I doubt Bowles to be a situational awareness person, because we said it, Louis. Why do you allow Britt to be in coverage when you know he can't cover?
I don't know why Savasio Dennis isn't out there full time.
Because he's hurt. He's on IR. Now, Savasio does come back in a couple of weeks. That is a blessing. Maybe that's why they don't pull the trigger on getting the linebacker. But Savasio will be back within 2 to 3. I think 2 more games. He'll be back.
Is it that? All right. I thought it was only like 2 games he was missing.
No, when you're on IR, it's automatic 4 games.
Oh,
so
4, all right.
Yeah. Once you're on IR, you got to go
2 more games and he'll be back. But you are right. I guys, if you go check it out, it'll be up later. I got an article called TikTok Todd Bowles. I mean TikTok Todd TikTok, because you're right, Louis. At this point, the Glazers are going to look at Cohen and Bowles, because again, Slick has said this plenty of times, Louis. Bowles, your duty is to make sure your defense is stellar. When you cannot provide that, that's at that point, what use are you? And you're right.
They've done it before. You remember who was it?
Lovie Smith?
Lovie Smith and Dirk Cutter. They've done it before. But I don't want them to fall into that same trap, because, like I said, anybody who comes into this,
you don't want a first-year fucking offensive coordinator and becoming your head coach. You don't want that. You want like, don't get me wrong. If he did 2 years and this is been solid, and we're like, okay, this guy knows what he's fucking doing. He knows what he's talking about. Is there someone on defense that can replicate or at least do a similar thing to what Coach Bowles is doing, then yeah, we'll look at that. But
I don't
this year's
think
one bullshit of changing a coach just because he
I
had
don't like that neither. Yeah, I don't like that neither. I don't think the problem really is though Todd Bowles. I think it's the personnel he has in there. I don't think because he has a really good. We've seen this scheme work in the past with guys like JPP and Shaq Barrett and stuff. Like our defense showed up. It's unfortunate right now. I'm not saying Yaya is a bad player. I just think that he hasn't hit that next strive yet, and it might take his third or fourth year for the game.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't have time for that.
I reckon he'll be under. I think he looked a little bit better in this game, but for the most part of this season, he hasn't been as effective. And I think that's maybe a bit of game planning, a little bit game planning because he was a nobody, right? And now he's the guy, right? He is. Yeah. If someone turns around you, who's the best pass rusher on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Pure pass rusher. It's him.
Yeah, I think it's coming down now to what King Cook has been saying. The defensive line. I don't think the defensive line is really the problem. Logan Hall has showed up. Vita Vea, Kalijah Kinsey. I wouldn't touch that. I think the biggest problem with this line, the front seven, is KJ Britt and JTS. You plug in a better outside linebacker than JTS, you have a completely different pass rush.
You put in Sebastian Dennis. It changes the complexity.
Physicality comes back. Remember when he was in there? He was
wreaking havoc. He was wreaking
havoc.
You
take out JTS.
The Buccaneers did a thing when they mixed it up between the two. One played the pure run and one played the pure pass. And you knew Sebastian Dennis could play a bit of the run, but he wasn't going to be that first down dude. When you got a team that's going to just bulldoze it down the first down. That's what a KJ Brick for. Pure thumper, he's just going to get that. He offers next to zero in pass coverage. Like he is lost out.
It's 100%.
And I'm not criticizing someone. Some guys are just role players, right? He is a role player. There's nothing wrong with that. Sebastian Dennis has a skill set that can be utilized more. He can play the run, but he's not the best run. He's not the best run defender out of his game. He's probably the third best run defender. But he's probably the second best pass defender. And that massively changes it.
Yeah, like I seen Braswell out there. He does not impress me. I'm
sorry. I'm going to tell you this.
Braswell's a rookie, so I'm not. He's a second-round rookie. I'm not stressing.
I'm going to tell you this now. Later on,
I'm stressing because we can't get a damn. We're getting some sacks, but there's times we need this team to win now because
I
Godwin,
get you, but
Evans,
pass rushers do not usually materialize into shit.
Yeah, I know, but our window is closing. Our window is closing.
It's good, but it's going to get better. Why is that? Because the good thing is we still have a young team, and I do think this, Louis, and I said this to Slick, Braswell will emerge, but later down the line. He has the physicality, but you know what he doesn't have yet? The fundamentals, because there was this play, Louis, if you didn't get a chance to see it, he had Lamar dead to fucking right. If he
I know what play you're talking about. I've seen that.
If he blitzes on the outside instead of going in, he probably would have destroyed Lamar completely, but that's a rookie mistake because he got through his assignment. But this, because I put this in the comments. I said, Lord, if he just goes to the outside of the shoulder instead of
outside shoulder. I don't know the play design, so I always want to engineer a little bit of caution when it comes to that because I don't always know what they're supposed to do based on what we want them to do. Right. You can look at a play like busted coverage, right? So you got a prime example is Bateman. Who was at fault for that? Because it ain't fucking Antoine Winfield. Because I can tell you why it's not Antoine Winfield. He let the guy go past him. He did not realize that was his dude. That means there's either a communication. So now you look at it as that's either a communication breakdown where he was the guy, or he was the guy in the first place and the guy got turned around. We all know who that was. Now, we're not going to kick his ass for it because he's been fucking fire for us for the entire season in Zion McCullum. He's been generally the best corner that we had. He had a fucking brain fart. I do not know why he looked back in what I would call trail coverage. When a guy's in front of you, you're not in
I
step
think he
for step
thought
with
the
him.
ball was coming already. I think it
He's
looked
not
like
supposed- I don't want him to think. I want him to know. And the only way you can know is by being shoulder to shoulder with
Yeah.
my guy. We call that in
Yeah.
phase, and then we can lean and we can locate.
I'm going to tell you
But
this,
if
guy.
he's hoping for a fucking underthrow.
Yep, and
Yeah.
I've
Louis.
seen it 100 times with rookie cornerbacks. They go, "Ooh, they're gonna throw under, and if they throw under, I'm gonna get a pick." And you're like, "No, he's gonna throw it over your fucking head, and you're gonna go like this."
And you're gonna look like an ass. And Louis Slick knows this. What's my favorite type of man press?
Oh, you like that dirty one, the one where it's just, you bust them out.
Louis, you I like that fucking jam. I like the jam because at that point, let me ask you this, guys, and Slick, you can attest to this because you're a defensive kind of guy. Louis, I want to ask you this, guys. This is Zion McCullum's build. This man is 6'2", like 201 pounds, lanky, but he's also fast. He's quick, but he has the long arms. You're playing Bateman, a 5'10" receiver. He doesn't have necessarily burn away speed, but he has the agility to get past you. You are bigger. Why don't you use your long arms to disrupt his timing, to get in his grill? And mind you, he weighs less than you. So why do you want to run with him? That is a bold bullshit mentality.
I don't have a problem running with him. I have a problem with him fucking looking for a fucking ball that might not be there.
I think a big problem too with the secondary.
But that's a rookie. I'd say that's a rookie mistake. He's in his third year. He's in his third year. But it was a foolish mistake that happened, right?
Yeah.
And it happened.
I think a big problem too with this secondary is, if you look at some of these past teams from the Buccaneers, some past defenses, preferably like the mid 90s going into the early 2000s, guys like Donnie Abraham, Brian Kelly, remember those guys? You want to know why they were so good? Because the fucking pass rush. Because of guys like Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice. I'm telling you, if the pressure is not getting on the court, like, for an example, to start off that game, it looked like to me Lamar Jackson was a little flustered to start, a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because
we looked like we had that fucking number.
The pocket was collapsing. But I think he realized that, he was agile to move out of the pocket. I don't know. I can't get over this. The defense is just bad. I can't. There's no other way.
I think it's just average. I think it's just fucking straight average.
I think it's terrible. I think there's no pass rush. The defense is why. The defense is getting killed, man.
I'm going to tell you this, though. The reason why it worked early is also the Bucs loaded the box. When everybody has their assignment and know what to do, that's why the Bucs earlier were killing because Zion.
Good comment. Sorry. Good comment, King Cook. Right there. Good comment.
The last one?
Yeah.
Let's not forget about the third and 26 field goal range. They get 20 yards and get kicked that field goal.
Well, that's also because of stupid ass cushion coverage. But like I said, I was just saying, Louis, guys, the thing is when you have these guys just their one assignment is to play physical.
But here's the question: they get 18 yards out of it. What was that guy's kicking range? You're just coming up with me and you're giving me some numbers. Okay, if that was at like the fucking sixth, that hour at the 50. It's Justin fucking Tucker, dude. He was going to fucking nail that. I think it was a 29 fucking field goal. It made no fucking difference if he got fucking 10 yards. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There's way too much more to this. It's the same with like Chase McLaughlin not making his kick. It makes no difference. Do you know why it doesn't make any difference? Because you don't call the same set of plays. If the Buccaneers get the touchdown from Mike Evans, and then the game changes. People act as if the game stays on this linear fashion.
The momentum. I'm a firm believer in that. It's real. People don't believe that, but it's real. Like I said, do you guys, when that game started, right? When that game started, we were up, and the Bucs were on fire. As soon as Mike went down, like you said at the beginning of the show, Coach, it was like poof. fucking air out of the balloon. Like it was.
And then on top of that, it was compounded with a fucking red zone. If we would have got the touchdown, I think that
red zone-
rejuvenates it. I think that
yeah. That red
gets it
zone
going.
interception, I'm telling
Killed
you,
it.
was the biggest killer in momentum. And I knew, I mean, how long have we been watching this team, guys? I mean, it was such a Buccaneer meltdown loss.
I tell
And
you
I
what,
hate prime time.
gut punch, the Mike Evans injury, and then fucking a hook straight to the face, straight bang bang, and you're like, oh fuck.
Well, the uppercut was Derrick Henry on that 80-yard burst. That was when I said, "Yep, game's cooked. Game's done." That 80-yard run.
Honestly, I think because I've boxed and stuff, I think that Mike Evans situation was more like a quick jab to the face, like a quick jab to the nose that like you don't expect. And then I just think that honestly that red zone situation, if I had to call it, it would be like the perfect hook. It just knocked us out. At the end of the day, I'm gonna say something that Buck fans are not gonna like, but this defense is soft. I'm sorry. I'm tired of seeing. Like I love Todd Bowles.
I can't argue with you because all I see is missed tackles. When we do when this team makes tackles and they do their jobs, they're fucking the same as any Coach Bowles defense. But the problem is, it's so inconsistent. Cushion coverage doesn't help that because you're getting guys to run.
I seen that in the game. Oh my god! When I seen that, it brought me back memories of what's his face. Who did we used to have here with?
Smithy.
Who was it?
Mike Smith.
Oh, Mike Smith. God, you remember that era?
I don't. I try to block it out.
Dirk Carter and Mike Smith with the fucking bullshit cover 3 that they ran.
Yes, I can't do that.
Brutal.
But yes, that's what Bowles does. But that's another thing, Louis. That's like Slick was saying. When we tackle, we're on point. We are like that. But
this is what we're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
The Coach Bowles mentality is stop the run, right?
Yep.
Stop the run to a point where they didn't get a yard or they got very little. They're either going to run it or they're going to pass it. They're going to get an incompletion or what have you. So now we're going to set up third down to be 3rd and long. What do? We play a prevent defense. He is banking that his guys will come down and make the tackles. They don't on a regular basis, right?
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Consistently. But that's the mindset, the build of this defense. I can see it. I was just sat there going, he's literally like, bam, bam, bam. Okay, now I see what he's doing. Take away from the pressure and all the other stuff that he does, because there's more to it than that. Defense is way more complex than that. But the base fundamentals of this defense is we are going to win the run, which means most teams run on 1st down to establish something. Even not always, but predominantly. We're going to win 2nd down. So now we got a 3rd and 8, a 3rd and 7, a 3rd and 6. It's a tougher yard to get. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everybody back. I also know he only does it on one side. Cushion coverage is usually only played on one side. It's usually the side where the hash is away from. So there's a little bit more space, which is why he tends to do it. The problem is the difference between the 2 hashes in NFL versus college. Not a lot. It's literally my wingspan, and I'm no basketball player, so. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is the thing. He is relying on his players to come down and play the short shit.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is we're not connecting those tackles at half the time. So guess what happens? We give it the fuck up. And we give it up, and we give it up, and we give it up. And then eventually we get to a point where it's bend but don't break. So we're deep in our own half. So we let them kick field goals or they get their occasional touchdowns. And that's why we're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Years gone past, we come down and make those plays. Years come down, we make.
I'm looking at this comment section. Guys, this is not Madden. We can't. It's not possible. This isn't a video game. It's not going to happen.
I would love to get both of those guys. I would love to get any of those guys.
Absolutely. Max Crosby on the Buccaneers with Vita Vea? Absolutely. But again, guys, this is something, in my opinion, that I think Todd Bowles
he's going to give up that dude. Who's really going to give up that dude?
Nobody. I think you have a better chance. I think you have a better chance with maybe Myles Garrett, just because of the simple fact the Browns, it's a dumpster fire over there. They're gonna start selling off everybody for picks. They're in rebuild
I,
mode.
I like what you're selling there. It all depends on the next couple of weeks. I think they'll play it to the deadline. I think that if I was the Browns and I was the front office owner, the front office dude, I'm sitting there going, right, let's see what, and we know who's coming back in, don't we?
Yeah.
It's J-Bo.
Yeah.
Get your fried legs ready, honey.
Exactly. I mean, hell, he might do something.
Oh my Lord!
I'm gonna tell you exactly how this Jameis Winston shit's gonna go. He's gonna light the world on fire
for 10 seconds.
No, for a game. I'm gonna call it right now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean by 10 seconds. It's gonna be one. Everyone's gonna go nuts. It's Jameis.
Yeah, and then but then again, we never know. I mean, I feel like the dog pound, like that whole environment, that vibe, it kind of suits him a little bit because it's odd. Like he's odd. But I think it's only going to shine for 2 games and then it's going to fizzle out. But back to the Bucs, man. I can't see them pulling a trigger. Max Crosby. I'd love to have Max Crosby, but that's not possible. That's not going to happen.
I've got a way to beat Max Crosby. And it's not going to sound good.
Okay.
It's a joke. I do apologize. I doused myself in whiskey. He ain't touching me. He ain't fucking touching me. He go far, far fucking away. I douse myself in whiskey and just go, come on, get some of this, boy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sorry, I do apologize. It is a dickish move.
It's all good.
No, one thing I will say, though, that people said, AJ, are you sure you would have died? You want to down that hill? Yes, because this is how
What hill did you die on, bro?
Huh?
What the hell did you die
on? No, not a hill to die on, but this mindset, because they said, AJ, what the Bucs should have done on defense. I said I would have loaded that box until they beat me out of it, because in the beginning we were containing Henry Slick and Louis. We were containing because the box was loaded and he couldn't get into that second gear. What happened when we started playing softer coverage? As you say, Louis, we got soft, and then they wonder why Henry bust out there breaking.
I like what you're saying because
carries 169 yards.
Here's my thing. And I like what you said because there's this little beautiful thing called cover 2 robber. It's different to the Tampa 2.
Oh,
the corners go deep. The corners go deep. And the safety comes down into the middle zone, which means you now can blitz somebody. What was our weakness last night? Middle of the field. They just ate that shit up all the fucking time. So disguise it. Make the middle of the field. Play a bit of Tampa. That's why it's a 1-2 punch to the Tampa. Tampa looks okay. The middle of the field is this. Okay, yeah, cool. Whatever. That's fine. Now we're gonna bring a guy down. He's gonna come in. He's gonna steal that fucking ball.
Yeah,
the box would have been loaded for me. Oh, I would have been.
I'm not saying it's gonna work every fucking play. I mean, I'm just.
It was better than that shit.
Yeah, I'm just sick and tired of seeing this defense getting cooked like that, man. It's every game. And it's just like, how many more games do you think you can survive playing like that? How many more games? It's just a horror show. I look away. I go find something to do when they're on defense because it's just they give up so many yards. Like Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, and it's making me look bad because I'm not a Lamar fan at all. I have always said he can't win the big one. He can't win the big one. Holy now I got to do a show tomorrow with a buddy of mine who's a huge Lamar Jackson fan, and I got to hear it.
Well, yeah, they've been slurping and
I mean, I'm on the fence with it because I look at Lamar Jackson. I agree with you. I don't think he can win the big one.
Yeah.
I don't think he has the arm to get his team to a chip. I think he has the skill set to be a really, really good quarterback in this league. Like we're talking, maybe if he has the right pieces around him at the right time and everything goes right, he'd walk away with a chip. But he's getting 1, no more than 1. Yeah. I would be shocked if he walked away with 2 or 3. He is going to be an Aaron Rodgers-y level kind of dude. He might get a chip if everything falls right. Other than that, he will just be known as a very good quarterback that just did the job. That was that fucking dude.
Yeah,
Hey.
Gets the playoffs
again,
on a regular basis, can't do it.
yeah, again, like I said, that was just a bad game for the Bucs. Todd
It was
Bowles
bad.
really has to get back into the lab and really start getting creative because the offense, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep going into these shootouts like this, man. I mean, I'm
It's
not
the
saying it was
last
a
two games
shootout, but
felt
you get
like
what I'm saying.
shootouts.
I want
Yeah,
to, like
man,
I said,
it's
I want to,
just
I want to ask Bowles, really, do you believe in this team or do you believe in the other opposition you play? Because
I think I can answer that. I don't think any coach worth his salt at any level believes in the other team.
I would hope not, but
I'm fucking wearing blinkers. I could coach fucking anybody and I still go believe in my team.
well,
I don't think it's that. I think it's more of a case of understanding the limitations of your players and being a little bit overzealous with it. So he sits there and goes,
yeah,
this guy can do this
perfect
guy can do this,
example.
and this guy can do this. I will play cushion coverage. That's not believing in them. It's just going, oh, I'm a bit cautious with putting a new dude in there because let's face it, he put in a new. He had to put in a new corner, so he probably played a little bit more caution to the wind, and didn't want to press, or only pressed on the one side. And I can understand it because it's what most of us would do if we had a backup going into the game.
yeah. No, at this point
Now,
though,
what
yeah,
I would do to emphasize your point, AJ, is I would find a coverage that I could get him to be a little bit more aggressive, where he doesn't have to worry, like a cover two man, or kill cover two, so that he's got a safety over top. So I'm like, dude, it don't matter if you motherfucking miss on this motherfucker. Let me see what you can do.
let me see.
Can you play that tighter coverage? Can you play cover two man? He can play cover two man. Okay, let's see what he does in pure man. We go in cover one or cover zero, right? So now I know I'm building a portfolio on this dude. And I'm sure they do that. I'm sure they do that. And maybe he doesn't show up in that sense. All I'm saying is I'm just going through my own process as a coach myself, and I'm like, I got a dude that's never really started before. I've got to throw a bit of caution to the wind. I've got to put him in the best position to make plays, because not everyone is going to make that step like Zion McCullum did.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well,
I was honest. I'll be honest with you all. I did not see this coming.
me neither.
I'm really happy about it.
Me neither. I thought they were going to put up a better fight against the Ravens, and it looked like they were going to. But going back to what I said early on, they just kind of stuck to the game plan. And I think when Mike got knocked out of the game, that was it. I will say this: I love the hit that Kalijah Kancey put on Lamar. I mean, that kid plays physical. I'm
Yeah.
really starting to like him, man, a lot more. But I'm gonna iterate. I'm gonna go back to this. The biggest problem with this Buccaneers team is that outside linebacker position. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, because if you look at the you really look at this defense, you have Jamel Dean, Zion McCollum, both solid starting corners in this league. Jordan Whitehead, Antoine Winfield Jr., Tyke Smith, whoever decides to play that nickel position there. And then your outside linebackers, you have Yaya Diaby, who's proven himself. You have Levante David. You do have a guy in Savassier Dennis and KJ Britt. Those two guys rotate. You have Vita Vea, who we know. Logan Hall is emerging. And then, you have Kalijah Kancey, who's proven himself. So what's the problem here? I'm telling you, you plug in somebody that's a little bit more better than Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. You plug in a real outside pass rusher like a JPP type. Like, remember when we traded for him? You bring in somebody of that caliber, I'm telling you, the complexity of the defense will change, because guys like Diaby, Levante, they will get more sacks. I'm telling you right now.
I know
that's a big problem right now. Is that Joe? And I'm not taking nothing away, because he's a freak of an athlete, but it's just not working.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's just not working. The offense is clicking, guys. They're putting up 30 fucking points a game, and we're still losing. If you told me, hey, the Bucs are putting up at least 30 points a game and they put a 50 burger on the Saints, I would say, wow, they're probably like 5-1 right now.
Yeah.
What's the problem? The fucking defense. It's terrible. And it's literally, I fucking cringe, and I hate to say this, but it's the old Patriot way. Just do your job.
Yeah. No, that
Not doing
is
his
true.
job.
I want to give you the floor on the last few questions. Give me three things that you well, one thing that you are cautious about or nervous against this Falcons game, and two things that you are hopeful for, Louis.
The thing that I'm cautious with about this Falcons game is the Buccaneers, and it's the same. It's an impulsive behavior that they have. Um, when they win a really big game, the next game they come out and they're flat-footed, and then they're like traumatized by the loss, and it leaks into the next week. You cannot let what happened and all the injuries and Mike Evans and all this stuff, you cannot let that carry over to the Falcons. You have to let all that stuff go because it's the next man up. We've been here before, we've done this before, and we've won. We've beaten the Lions. They cannot go into that game with doubt because I think that team is starting to have a little bit of doubt on their hands. One thing that I do like, was it that one thing that I like and two things? What is it? Sorry, I've had a
Two things
long week.
that you are hopeful for. Two things.
Oh, two things that I'm hopeful for is that somebody, either Trey Palmer or Jalen McMillan, really break out, and the three-headed monster at running back to continue. Do not give up on that. We have to use these guys more. And I said it, Rashad White is an awesome pass catching running back. Let him cook. Just let him do his. I'm telling you, I love Rashad White, especially with Bucky Irvin. Let Bucky and Sean Tucker run the football. I'd like to see Rashad get a couple of carries, but continue with that three-headed monster because that three-headed monster right now is what's going to carry you right now. Let's keep the passes minimal. Let's beat these motherfuckers old school. Let's run the football, grind it fucking down, old school fucking football. And the defense, I hope the best for you guys. Do the best you can to hang in there, but you got to keep the Falcons offense off the field and wear out the defense for the Falcons. That's. I mean, the Broncos did it to us. Take a page out of their book. Because I'll tell you right now, if the fucking Bucs lose to the Falcons, we're fucked. That's not.
I would say we're fucked, but we're very fucking close to being fucked.
Yep. Well, Louis, I appreciate.
You look at the NFC. Sorry guys, but if you look at the NFC North, that whole division has a winning record. It's going to be very tough for the Buccaneers for a wild card.
I still don't think the division's that far out. So I don't believe in the Falcons yet. But I think it becomes a lot more difficult. This is a fucking crazy win game, which is why a lot of people are like, why would you make these risks? This is why AJ has turned up going,
yeah.
You did all this to beat try and beat an AFC team that we won't meet until the fucking Super Bowl. And now we've got to go into we've got to go against a team that we're going to be short-handed against because of the decisions you made to go and play against a team to try and struggle to regain control of the division. That's why we're fucking angry. It's not the fact that, the game wasn't winnable. The game, okay, I'll level with you both. The game was winnable. But it was winnable against a team it didn't matter against. And it cost you. You are literally the fucking Thanos meme.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You played a game, but what did it cost?
Yeah.
Fucking everything. I lost 2 of my star wide receivers. I lost 2 Infinity Stones. Fucked it. It's gone.
Exactly. So what are you going to do?
I don't want to hear no more about the 1,000 yards for Mike. Because at the end of the day,
it doesn't matter at this point. He's coming in week fucking 12. He ain't getting no fucking. Don't get me wrong. I would be ecstatic for him. I'd be jumping for joy for the dude. For as far as I'm concerned, he is one of fucking 5 people who got 100 fucking touchdowns. One of 5, and every single one of that 5 is a fucking Hall of Famer.
Yep, that's all that
He's
matters.
the fucking guy. It doesn't fucking matter anymore. People get injured. I get it. The streak is probably over, and I can make my peace with that. Because guess what? No one's going to catch him anytime fucking soon. And I fucking put my money on that.
AJ, what do you want to see them do in this game coming up with the Falcons?
I just want to see good old fashioned, like you said, physical football. Defensively, you got to be
You
nasty.
sound
I
AJ
would
sounds
Raven. I would Raven the fucking Falcons.
Yeah,
I,
that's
I,
Like,
I think
fucking down.
yeah, and
I
the reason
think
why
all of
my
us.
yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
why my voice is like that, Louis, just because I want it, but I don't want to overpsych myself. I did that
Yeah.
with the Ravens game, and at this point, it's a Bowles mindset because at this point, it's going to be up to him. You know what
Look,
it is already. Slick has said this
boy,
before. Look at the probabilities. I would love for someone to say, Bowles, when you do this stupid cushion shit, probability is most likely you're going to fall on your ass, and then you want to be urgent, but the game's over by then, coach. So that's the biggest thing I want Bowles to understand is social
understanding.
yes,
Yeah.
and knowing
Awareness. Yeah.
awareness. Just be aware, my
100%.
man. That's all you got to do.
Like
That's it.
you can play that shit deep in the fourth quarter when you're up by a touchdown, a couple of touchdowns, and they're desperate. I get it. That makes sense. But doing it in the fucking first quarter, dude, stop it.
Don't do that. And offensively, I ain't gonna lie, Louis. I want to see this three-headed running back shit go off because if that running back shit go off like you said, now it doesn't put as much pressure on these young receivers
It's so fucking different now. Like you watch them run, they run so fucking different.
And also the answer King Cook's question, he's wrong. People forget Rashad White is a 6'1", 6'2" guy. So he basically is technically like a slot receiver
and
running back. Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah,
he has.
He was second in the league last year for most yards after contact.
Yeah. So Louis,
Christian McCaffrey.
you're on to something. You're on to something about that. That's all I want to see. I want this team, if anything, think about this week and be pissed off about it. And also think about
he is 6 foot. He is bang on 6 foot.
Yep.
And that's not a criticism. For a running back, that's tall.
That's tall.
That's fucking tall.
Bucky's only what, 5'8", 5'9"?
Yeah, Bucky's 5'8".
Usually these running backs are short and compacted now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what you want. The perfect height for a back is between.
I would experiment. I would go down the route of experimenting with it. I just wouldn't go crazy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just let's have a little look what this actually looks like because we know he can run a route. So why not get him to do some of the things that Chris Godwin did? Because that's kind of what you kind of get him to do anyway. Screens.
That's exactly what I was saying. Just Liam's gotta. Yeah, Liam's gotta get creative now. They both do. Todd Bowles and both of them. They both gotta get creative.
Do you guys have the phrase king and queen over there in American football formations? Because I don't know what it's called in America. We call it king and queen.
I don't think so, no.
I don't think we do.
Halfback, literally right behind the tackle.
Halfback.
Oh no, we don't have that. I think that would be the closest
thing. It happens, trust me, because we got it from you guys. We stole it from you guys. It does happen to you, Mike.
Wouldn't that be the pistol? That would be the closest thing.
No, because the pistol would be behind the pistol would be behind this guy's in front of the quarterback. It might be more close to Wildcat.
What? Yeah, probably. That's more than
likely.
Yeah. Right, okay. Put him somewhere there. Or even fucking tight end.
Something.
He's nasty enough to fucking take the blow. So fucking use him for it. He doesn't have to be 6'6" to play tight end. And I don't want him to play tight end. I'm just saying he could play some of those receiving type tight end routes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Linebacker that's a lot slower than him. Absolutely. I just again they have to utilize these guys in the right way, and I'm going to be positive. I think the three-headed monster at running back, I think they're going to carry this team to at least 1 or 2 wins. I'm not going to give up on this Bucs team. I'm not going to give up on Baker. I'm fully I'm expecting them to beat Atlanta. I don't think Todd Bowles and company is going to roll over. And I'll tell you what, if they get beat by Atlanta,
that's another conversation. I understand.
Yeah, that's a conversation.
I see the Bucs winning. I just don't see them winning like I wanted them to.
Before he goes, I just want him to have his opinion. Should we trade for a wide receiver?
Should we trade for a wide receiver? Like I said early on in the show, I think you have to go with DeAndre Hopkins.
Explore it.
Yeah.
Explore it.
What's
Because
the worst
what's
that's
the
gonna
worst
happen?
that happens? You turn around and go, hey,
You
what
want me
does
to
it
call
take to
him?
get John
You want me
Hopkins
to
off
call?
your fucking lap?
I'll call the front office right now for the Titans, man, and say, hey, listen, I'm just trying to broker a deal here. I mean, it's got to happen. You have to, and you're gonna give up little to nothing.
No,
And
because he's not
without,
a dude. He's not that.
there's
He's not. He is not DeAndre Hopkins of a fucking old man.
no,
He's fucking
but there's
DeAndre
no
Hopkins. Oh,
victory. There's no victory without sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? You can't play scared and you can't be comfortable with, oh, we got to keep our picks. We got to keep our picks. I want a Super Bowl. I want a Super Bowl appearance at least. Kick the doors on it. If they
Scare
want a
money don't make
3
money.
or a 4, give them one of those. DeAndre
Scare
does it
Hopkins,
matter? Does it matter if you bridge the gap and go right? We bring in DeAndre Hopkins to not replace, but do the job that he did, and
there's
then
no
we just
pressure
resign.
on him.
We,
There's
we
no
just
pressure on
resign fucking
DeAndre
Chris Godwin.
Hopkins. Yeah. But what I'm saying is DeAndre Hopkins, I still think he has another good, maybe 1,000 yard season left in him. It's just he don't have a fucking quarterback or a team worth a damn.
Yeah, but he's
Eh,
fucking retarded. Like you go, I really like. Come on, there's
Well,
three
think-
dudes here right now.
yeah.
I need to do this because it
T.
fucking
Hill,
fundamentally
Tyreek Hill, I'm
frustrates
staying
me as
away
a
from
man
that.
and a human being. You are one of the better wide receivers, Louis. You are one of the better wide receivers in the National Football League. You can go to any team. Just try not to pick one that's fucking capped fucked. So Kansas City's out
Yeah.
unless you're willing to take fuck all money. Where are you going? You ain't going to fucking Tennessee.
No.
No one's going to
Absolutely not.
Tennessee. No one should
And
go
I'm
to
not saying-
Arizona.
Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
went
Like I
there
said,
for the money.
I'm if if
You go
if I'm
for
the
it.
Bucks, I'm calling DeAndre Hopkins. I would go to Tampa. Why not? You have Baker
Yeah,
Mayfield. You have a 3-headed monster at running back.
And
you-
now you are now inserted into the lineup
Yeah.
because you kind of fucking have to
I think
be.
that gives you some juice too. Well, let me
Yes,
ask you,
sir.
Coach, if you were DeAndre Hopkins right now, or like just say if you were in a situation where you haven't
Going
had a
from
couple
for
of
a
good
team that's
seasons,
owned 1-5 to going to a team that's trying
Yeah.
to fucking win something with a quarterback that's got
you're
something
telling
going
me
about.
that your energy level wouldn't rise. You'd be like, all right,
Mike
that
Evans is going to
fucking
come
juice,
back.
that
I just gotta
fire.
keep the ship fucking right for him. He comes back now. Me and him are going to fucking eat. Now, me and him are going to fucking set the world afire. That's how I would look at it. If I was that dude, that's how I look at it.
Yep.
Yeah, I
And
100%
with that
agree.
Look at it that way.
With that
There's
being said,
only
folks,
a few teams in the National Football League that you can honestly say, and I'm
Yep.
not saying the Buccaneers are one of them, but there are only a few teams that you can turn around and go, okay, they're on a trajectory to get them into that stratosphere. Ravens, Bills, the NFC, it's a fucking crazy nut job of fucking jobs because nobody fucking. It's such a wild. You should call it the wild card division
it
because
is.
Yeah.
it is like.
It is. And on that note, fellas,
I
I'm
can't
gonna
turn around and tell you Detroit Lions are the only team I can tell you will make the playoffs. 100%.
Yep, I gotta roll out on
Probably
this
the
one now.
Vikings, and then it gets dicey.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to roll out on
AJ.
this.
Go
one
ahead,
now,
AJ.
fellas. But I will definitely be back on if you want. I'll be back on tomorrow with Smitty, the Falcon fan. I'm gonna try to keep my composure there because Falcon fans have been pissing me off this past season. But I will holler at you guys, Louis, Slick. Y'all take care. I'm just gonna try to sleep this misery off. But I believe we'll win next Sunday, and we're gonna be down there in Tampa.
We are going to be down there.
We're
We're going to get
we're
a
gonna bring that
cigar.
energy.
We're going to have some fun.
Yeah. We're gonna bring
I
the
gotta get
energy.
Nice.
And then Louis, sometime we're gonna link up next year when it gets warmer again. We're gonna get back. I'm gonna come up that area and we're gonna drink it. All right.
Oh, believe me, I got plenty of places over here, literally walking distance from my house. We have a bar on a barge in the water. It's called the
Yes,
Tipsy.
sir. Well, as always, fellas, go
And,
Bucs.
I'm
Let's
turning
get these
30
things.
next year, so let's make that shit happen.
Yes,
Do
sir.
it, man. Let's do
Take
it.
care. Take care, fellas.
Okay.
All right,
Love you, brother.
take care. Man.
Later. But
Man,
like
we
I
ain't
was
got too
saying,
long
Coach,
left because I got to go. But
yeah. But yeah, again, let's get that juju out there, like DeAndre Hopkins in a Bucs uniform. Let's get that. Let's get that
let's
out
have
there,
a
man. That's
look
gotta
at
happen.
what it looks like. What does fucking? It takes nothing to ask the question. Like, we could do a wide receiver. What would it take? And you know you're going to pay a little bit more for it because you're the one asking, right? It's not like they're begging to get rid of him. However, now I had this up. Is there any wide receivers? Now, I think Callaway, who we brought on the practice squad, I do feel like that's a little bit of an upgrade. I think there's a little summit there, but I'm not sure it's enough.
I like Cam Johnson. He showed something.
Mm.
I think in this scenario, because we're desperate right now, and like we got an open wound that's like we're at war right now. Like we're shot and we're leaking, and we I shouldn't use that terminology, but I'm terrible with terminologies, man.
No, we are. We are an open.
Yeah.
We're a wounded monster.
Yeah.
We're a wounded monster. We're covering up, and we're hoping we can just get through it. So
yeah, right. We got to survive the next couple of weeks. They definitely have to figure that out, because if they don't, this is not gonna be it's not gonna be a fun season to watch. I'm telling you right now, and this is the worst case scenario.
Man. I mean, I think for me, the worst season I ever saw. Now, I remember the Bucs Line fan for a massive long time because I didn't know what football was until 2013. So, toughest season for me is probably 2019, and then the last season with Brady. They were fucking hard.
Yeah,
they were hard. We were a talented roster that just couldn't get it done.
Toughest season for me, would have to be during the Greg Schiano era when we had Gerald McCoy, Michael Bennett. A lot of people forget about that, but a lot of like Michael Bennett was awesome for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they just let him go. And yeah, I've seen some. I honestly can't. I don't know. There's been a lot of bad seasons. The year when we lost to the Falcons 58-14 on Thursday night, that was a bad season. Yeah, I don't want to revisit some of that stuff because we've been on a winning trajectory.
I genuinely don't think that's going to come, but it's. Yeah. I think it's because we've gone on such a trend up that we feel like,
yeah, like last year wasn't pretty neither, but our expectations as Buccaneer fans were like, I said 8 and 9, and they still get into the playoffs, and it happened. They went 8 and 9. I just think this year is a little bit tougher because the expectations, like, people secretly know that we're good. The Bucs, like people, I think that a lot of the league is happy about what happened yesterday, because watching them play the Saints and putting up a 50 burger, that team is capable of not doing that every game, but I do believe that somebody else is going to catch a 50 burger from us. This team has the potential to do that, and now that two of our main guys, core nucleus guys that were there during the championships too, are gone. It's like, okay, who on offense is going to step up? It's Baker. You wear that C on the chest, but it's like you still need Batman and Robin. Who's your guy? Somebody's got to step up, and it's got to be somebody on that wide receiving core. I've been talking a lot of shit about Trey Palmer. He's my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy. Here's a chance for him to break out. Same thing with Jalen McMillan. This is going to be a long road, but I believe we can get out of it. I think we can get a win or two. Hopefully. DeAndre Hopkins to the Bucs predicted. Here we go.
Let's go for it. Louis, tell us where we can catch you, what you're up to, and what the deal is with you, brother.
All right, guys. So it's been a little bit. A lot of things been going on. I actually, my co-host Jamie and myself, we actually lost a very good friend of ours last week. A lot of chaotic things, and the podcast has kind of been still a little bit. But tomorrow at 8:45, around the NFL, we will be talking about. For the first 15 minutes of the show, I'll be ranting about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But usually what we do is we kind of talk about everything going on around the NFL, and it's a funny show. And me and Jamie tend to go at it. It's a good time. But it's all love at the end. So you can find this on Around the NFL on YouTube, and that's the Frozen Pirate Podcast. Find me on Instagram, the Frozen Pirate Podcast. All of our content and video content, it's all on there. You can find this on Spotify, iHeartRadio, et cetera, wherever you listen to your podcast, we're on there. And as always, you can find me and the rest of the guys on Bleacher Report. As always, thank you, Coach. Thank you, AJ, for letting me come on and rant. Even though I was late, It won't happen again. Just
Oh man, don't worry
buying.
about we ran it ourselves, man.
Yeah,
Like,
man. I'm in the process of buying a truck right now, and fucking dealerships suck. All right, so buying a car is like one of the worst feelings in the world. I'm telling you right now. It's you're happy when you get
I
it.
would buy a nail and just make sure that nail lasts as long as it physically can.
Yeah, but out here in America, man, the trucks right now, like the interest rates are so high. Like
Really.
it's insane. It's like I I don't even want to get into it, man. But it is what it is. But
We
yeah,
don't have trucks in my country. We call them vans.
okay. Yeah,
It's basically a truck with a roof.
that's awesome.
But they because our weather's so fucking shit,
Yeah,
we can't afford to have anything open
yeah,
topped in any shape or form. So
yeah, man.
everything's got a roof on it.
Yeah,
So
we're actually thinking. Go ahead.
if you have a plumber or an electrician come to your house, he ain't got a
Yeah,
truck. He got a
yeah, he's a,
van. He has to
yeah.
keep that shit contained because he'll get
Oh
rained on for sure.
yeah. We're actually me and the wife are trying to figure out if we're gonna buy one of those big Sprinter vans, like a Ram van or a Mercedes van, because we actually want to convert it into like a traveling van, like so we can go travel,
Okay.
like solar panels, redo the inside, with like shower and a little mini kitchen and like a bed and
Cool.
stuff like that. We want to go traveling around. But that costs money too, man. Everything costs money. But I don't want to waste anybody's time, man. You look tired. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's about
As always, thank you to Bucks Report.
141.
Ooh, it's 8:41 here in America. So, well, in
Yeah,
Massachusetts on the east side. So, yeah.
I'm all right for a little bit, but yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. I got to
Yeah,
be
I
up with
hear
the
ya.
kids in about 6 hours. So
Ooh, I know what that feels like. I got one upstairs, 6 years old. All right, as always,
the
thank
little
you to
boy
Bucks
6 as
Report
well.
for
So
having me on, man. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you. Peace.
anyway, look after yourself, Louis. See you, man.
See ya.
Guys, that's the end of the show. Thank you for all the comments that poured in. I really appreciate that everyone comes in and says their little thing. Mark King, Stephen Poyer, Christopher Cole, and who else we got in our little gentleman's section? I'm sorry that we couldn't publish so many of these comments because there's a lot of them. And yeah, man, that was a tough game. It was a tough one. Not because we lost. It's how we lost. That hurts. We're a fucking good football team. And we're good fucking fans. And we fucking deserve to have a bit of love. I swear to God, every time the fucking mainstream media talk good about us, we fucking play like shit. It's almost like this team deserves to be an underdog. We're a fucking pirate at heart. So let's pillage and burn for that shit. We're the fucking Falcons. Let's clip the Falcons. Keep our hopes alive. Coach Bowles, if you're listening, I'm ready, brother. I'm ready to come in. I'm not saying I'm going to set the world alight. I'm ready to learn. And I'm ready to get everyone better if I can. That's the first time I've said something like that. But guys, appreciate everyone on this. You're all fucking awesome. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, unsubscribe, and resubscribe because that's how the algorithm works. I will be in Tampa as of the 26th of this month. So, Saturday. I will be at the Creamsicle game. I'm hoping we can do a post-game show and a pre-game show. That would be fucking awesome. Can't promise because I don't know. I'd love to do it. We'll try and make it happen. Live on location in Tampa Bay, outside the stadium or inside the stadium, who knows? And make that shit happen. But anyone here that just wants to meet up, go for a beer, go for a drink, have a chat. My name's Coach Slick. I predominantly use Facebook because I'm a millennial. So that would be Stephen Probert. Go check it. Stevie Slick Probert is my name. Go check me out. Add me. I don't give a fuck. If you want to come for a beer, we'll go for a beer. But until then, Bucks on me, Bucks on free. 1, 2, 3. Go Bucks!
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes till the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.